guys doing? It's Mel from Defense Coalition, back again with another video. Today, what I want to talk about and touch on is firearm advertisement, whether it be in the form of stickers or signage. I want to know the thoughts from you guys down in the comments. How do you guys feel about firearm advertisement? I see a lot of people out and about day to day when I'm driving. I see a lot of stickers, decals on the back of their trucks and cars. And I guess they have every right to do that. This is America. We have the right to freedom of expression. But how much is too much? And can that be a good thing or a bad thing? That's what we're going to talk about today. You got all kinds of people. Now, the old guy with the 1991 Ford Ranger with one NRA sticker on the back of his window in the bottom left or right corner. And he might also have a Bush Cheney sticker from 2004. Fine, I'm not mad at that. That's an advocacy group for the Second Amendment. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. But what you don't want to do, even though you have the right to, is overkill. And for many reasons. Right now, I'm talking about vehicles. I'm going to get to property in just a second. By the way, something like that in the garage, perfectly fine. I would never put something like this or this outside. I would never put something like this outside. I'm going to get to that too. You might be at the light and you see a big Second Amendment decal or Ruger or SIG and all of this old foolishness. Basically, they're trying to give off the persona that you just shouldn't be messed with because you might be a concealed carrier. And all of that's bull jargon. That's jargon. 9 times out of 10, this is a guy that wanted to be in the Marine Corps, probably failed the ASVAB or he passed the ASVAB test, but he failed his physical and they rejected him and he still kept the clothes. These are the kind of guys that do stuff like this. I don't really like the macho gun owners too much that really have to advertise it and say so much about it. Just keep your mouth closed and live your life and go about your business. That's my take on it. That's what I would do. But everybody's not the same. And they have the right to do whatever they want to. So to each his own. But when you get your gun stolen out of your truck, that Japanese big Toyota Tundra with the monster truck tires on it, that you feel that you need to make up for where you lack in your personal life as a man with your wife in your bedroom. Yeah, your small penis truck. Those stickers plastered all over the back window of your small penis truck are gonna get your truck broken into. So the number one reason why I'm against firearm advertisement on a vehicle is because it opens you up to theft. Obnoxious stickers like this one, come and take it. This is what's gonna happen. And then you come out of Target with your wife on a Saturday afternoon and your window's busted open and you're looking around wondering how this could have happened. You did this. Now you got to call the police and make a police report and figure out where your firearm went, your truck gun. Put whatever you want on your car, but just know having a sticker from any firearm manufacturer on there or anything alike, insinuating that you are into firearms, just may well hint at a criminal that there could potentially be an accessible firearm in that vehicle. So just know what you're getting yourself into there. Number 2, negative perception and legal issues. Now, you may have some neighborhoods that have an HOA or anything of that sort where you might have regulations on intimidating signage, especially if it conveys extreme language or threatening signage. You might have neighbors that might feel afraid or intimidated, or law enforcement might even see it as threatening or intimidating. You could very well find yourself in, I don't want to say too much legal trouble per se, because we do have the First Amendment, right of free speech, and I'm not here to take that away from anyone. I'm just here to shed some light on the fact that you might have some issues with some of the neighbors that feel some type of way. And if you live somewhere in one of these new stick-built, side-by-side planned communities with a lot of snowflakes that may not like your First Amendment rights to free speech, you could find yourself in a pickle with the HOA. So there's that. Number 3, escalation of conflicts. Now, some signs, instead of being deterrents, can actually do the very opposite and encourage intruders to be well prepared to enter your property, to take what it is they want from you, or possibly to do harm. So now basically we have a situation where your deterrent, which is this sign, or maybe even that one, or this one, which was meant to be a deterrent, is now being used to put the bad guy on notice as to the challenges he may potentially face if he chooses your house to burglarize, which he just might. And I'll tell you why something like this or this won't be a deterrent for someone that's determined, because all they're gonna do is scope out the neighborhood, scope out that house of yours. Remember the truck that we talked about earlier? Yeah, that one. Yeah, he's gonna wait until that's not there. He's gonna wait to see what kind of car your wife drives, or if there's any other young adults or teenagers that drive, or he's gonna get the whole rundown of who lives in that house, and he's gonna wait until no one's home. And then at that point, none of this is gonna matter. He's gonna find his way in there and get what he wants out of there. So you could have avoided that by just putting up something like this. Simple as this. Something like this. Simple. This is all you need. This is a deterrent. This is much more of a deterrent than something like this or something like this. Simple. When they see something like this spells police trouble. They're not gonna bother with it. They're just gonna move right along to the next house. Privacy and profiling concerns. Now we're talking about when we're out and about and we're displaying this open love for firearms, which is perfectly fine for you to do, but it's how you do it. Or why does it need to be done? Is this something I have to convey to the public? You don't, but some people do. I'm not here to argue with you about that. I'm just here to tell you the cons of advertising firearm ownership. It's gonna open you up to scrutiny from Democrats, excuse me, people with opposing views to firearms, as well as law enforcement. You might have law enforcement that might decide to jump behind your car, run your tags for no reason, just because they see that Smith & Wesson sticker, or, oh, he's a Ruger owner. Oh, he just bought a Taurus. He's got his sticker on his back window. Let's run that tag. Let's see if he's a prohibited person, if he can even have that firearm. Let's just say that your daughter is driving your car that is registered in your name, that you gifted to her, and you might not even be a gun guy. She might be a gun girl, but you have a criminal history for whatever reason and you're prohibited. And they get behind that car and they see that she just has that sticker on her back window. Next thing you know, when they run that tag, she's got red and blue lights behind her, and that's gonna traumatize her. See, these are the things that we don't think about. Not to say anyone's right or wrong in that particular situation, but that just points out one of the variables or one of the possible things that could happen. And a situation like that could potentially become dangerous for everyone involved, and that's something we don't want. I believe it's nobody's business what you're really into. If you're out there loud and proud about what you're about, that's fine. My job here on YouTube is to document my experiences and disseminate helpful information to the public. All those decals, me personally, not something I will put on my vehicle. Guy like me, I'm a simple guy, something like this, nice and harmless. Misinterpretation of intentions. Now, something like this could come off as unfriendly, threatening, or aggressive, which is exactly why it's not outside on my property. I tend to keep it right about here in my garage. And you can't really see it unless you're up on my property and you walk into my garage. That's the only way you're gonna see it. I don't really wanna threaten anybody. That's not my intentions at all. I'm very friendly with my neighbors. Something like this right here is enough, is more than enough. Straight to the point. Anything more than this is overkill. I think I have another one here. This one, you saw this one earlier. Something like that too. And I have these all over the property pretty much. Not all over, but I got a couple of them. Something simple like that just gives off the message, hey, I don't really want anyone here. And another thing, no trespassing signs. If you have these and someone comes onto your property and they slip and fall, or they're hurt and they don't belong there, it's not gonna be really too much liability or anything like that. Or if you do get into a defensive situation on your property, if you have these posted, you're gonna have more wiggle room should those matters go to court. So something like this is definitely good to have if you own property. Straight to the point, keep it friendly, keep it clean. if you can help it. But if you're just outspoken and you just have to have that bravado about you, put that outside. But me, I keep stuff like this in the house. I'm a revolver guy. You know me, if you've been on this channel, you know I love revolvers. I just like this hanging up in here, of course, for the decor. It's decor. I like revolvers. Should you get in here, I don't know, I might be cutting grass or something, and you might walk into my open garage door and see this. That could be a deterrent. I'm not sure. Lastly, potential liability. When you have stuff like this all over your property and you get into a defensive shooting, this is going to be used as a potential propensity to exert fear or violence against other people. And it's going to complicate your legal defense. But like I said, something simple and non-threatening like this is going to work more in your favor than something like this or a bunch of these, should that matter make it to court. So use your judgment. If you got a gun or two or a few or a whole collection, get into some forums or some online groups or local physical groups with like-minded people. Not everyone has to know it, and you don't have to be so hyperly aggressive in your tone about being a gun owner. That's not responsible gun ownership to me. I'm trying to do you guys a favor. Don't go out there with this macho bravado. I've said this for many years on this channel. It's gonna cost you. Just be responsible gun owners and just be simple people. Everyday, normal, simple people. You don't have to prove anything to anybody or have a chip on your shoulder or have an ego about yourself. Lose that shit, please, because it's gonna get you in some trouble. And I tell you guys, every episode that I film, when we leave and close these episodes out, stay safe, don't get into no shit. That's what I'm talking about. Don't get yourself into any shit. But at the same time, you also have a voice that can be heard, and you have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech, but use it wisely. It's Mel from Defense Coalition. You guys stay safe. Don't get into no shit.